In 'n sagte stem het Henri van Breda maandagoggend in die hooggeregshof in Kaapstad 3 keer die woorde geuiter: onskuldig. Van Breda staan tereg op 3 klagte van moord, die van sy ouers Martin en Teresa en sy broer Rudi. Nou het regter van Breda se weergawe aangehoor van wat op 27 Januarie 2015 in die Van Breda woning op die gholflandgoed te Zalze buite Stellenbosch gebeur het. Van Breda se pleitverduideliking is deur sy advokaat Pieter Botha uitgelees.
As far as I could see, the attacker was dressed in dark clothes and he wore gloves and a balaclava-type mask. My dad immediately moved towards and onto the bed over Rudi, towards the attacker, who was on the opposite side of the bed. It looked as if he was trying to tackle the attacker, or at least get between the attacker and Rudi. However, my dad was struck with the axe as he lunged towards the attacker. His body went limp on the bed, and I did not see him move again. Despite this, he was hit a number of times by the attacker with the axe. I also recall that the attacker was laughing whilst he attacked my dad. I suddenly heard my mom's voice outside my room saying, "Wat gaan hier aan?" I assumed that the attacker must have heard it too, because he then left the room. I could not see what happened outside the room as my view of the door was obstructed by our bedroom wall. The attacker remained outside my field of vision for some time. I am unsure how long, but it was not long. I cannot recall whether I heard any sound of an attack on my mom outside of our room. The attacker then came back into the room and slowly came at me. At that stage, I was standing close to the bottom end of my bed. He was laughing and seemed almost unconcerned about my presence. I stepped forward and grabbed his wrist and right hand, in which he was carrying the axe, with both my hands. I managed to wrestle the axe from his grip and shove him away from me towards the bottom end of Rudi's bed. As a result of the push, he spun around and away from me. I was surprised at how easy I was able to disarm him.
Buiten vir Van Breda se beskrywing van die aanval waarin sy hele gesin behalwe sy suster Marley gesterf het hy gepraat oor hoe 'n polisiebeampte sy weergawe 'n nonsens storie genoem het op die aand wat hy 'n verklaring afgelê het.
After waiting in this office with police officer around for a while, a large man arrived, whom I later learned was Colonel Benneke. Colonel Benneke came in, poured himself a coke, and without introducing himself, told me that he, quote, does not believe a word of my story. At his request, I repeated to him what had happened a number of times. During this time, I repeatedly inquired about my family, but was denied any information. At some stage, Colonel Benneke also said that Muddy was telling him everything and asked me whether my version would be the same as hers, to which I replied yes.